Hey, hey!
Yeah, we're here with a brand new guest who's never yet been on our show.
Hello.
It's Deaf Jeff. Is that
Hey,
right?
Jeff?
Yes.
So, Deaf Jeff, the masked man, you have a lot of. You're actually like a righteous man in many ways. Is this true?
I just love cannabis.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But like,
it's gonna be fun.
But you like it for more reasons than like 20.
420 reasons.
There you go.
Just expanded to
Exactly.
710.
There you go. There you go.
Is this why we're concealing our identity? Because we're going to talk about pot?
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, but we don't have to conceal our identities because.
You should, though.
I'm just going to go like this.
Facial recognition.
Right on.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, all right, but in this day and age, it's more than facial recognition.
In this day and age, it's
it's voice, it's touch.
It's an attempt to bully people into censorship, so that everybody has to censor themselves, so that because they're scared that somebody's watching.
But don't you feel texting is kind of that? Like,
All
an IMing, it's like you don't push. It's like I'm notorious for putting my foot in my mouth no matter what, because forget about it.
No.
But I feel like people don't do that as much anymore because they're editing everything they say before they press send even, and so like it's changing.
The thing is, they can see your keystrokes, so they can see what you deleted. So like, it's still.
It doesn't
Pretty much
matter.
watch your screen.
We're doomed no matter what.
I heard they can watch you
world.
through your screen.
And that's why I do this. That's why it's a protest. It's to raise awareness.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
What
So it's just a protest in saying you
Correct.
can't. Okay.
Sounds good.
So
Sounds like
like,
cotton candy.
but you're all about the cannabis.
Cannabis, yes.
And what is like the 5 most important reasons that we should all be allowed to partake with cannabis?
Well, there's only one reason,
Okay.
and that's because you want to.
Okay. But it also has
fucking love
healing. It also has healing qualities, and
Of course, and that's if you need to.
yes, and you have information that shows how it's extremely helpful, and that it's proven fact that many people have gotten so much better in multiple situations from the usage of cannabis.
Last year, I held 20 protests outside the State House in Trenton. I held them. It was called Patients Speak Out, and it was to give the medical marijuana patients of New Jersey a voice to speak out in front of the State House and explain what was wrong with the program and explain how cannabis has benefited them. The majority of the people that came out were parents of very, very sick children. These children had epileptic seizure conditions that are life-threatening. None of these children should be alive. They're very, very damaged from narcotic medications and also the seizures themselves. They all found out about cannabis. All these families found out about cannabis stopping the seizures in a child out in California.
Okay.
So they started giving them their children
And they
cannabis.
give them like cookies or something, right?
Well, at first it was illegal for edibles at the dispensaries.
In Jersey, you mean?
Yeah, and then these parents lobbied the government and yelled at Chris Christie, got thrown out of many town hall meetings.
Well,
And, he finally legalized edibles for people under 18. Meanwhile, these children have the mentality of like a 10-month-old. So how are they ever going to ever be able to smoke?
right.
Even when they're over 18, they
Yeah.
still are not going to be able. Like, there's one girl, her name is Sarah, and she has gastric-Winnick syndrome, and she should not have lived past 9. She's like 22.
Wow, and it's
She actually, since starting cannabis, she said her first word.
wow.
All the kids who I met, when I first met them, and they were on their narcotic medications, they were just in a
Like
wheelchair.
vegetables.
Just vegetables,
Like
one over here,
natural
one over
veggies,
here, drooling vegetables.
Right.
Now these kids, even though they were damaged by the seizures and the
Yes.
narcotic medications, they're kids. They make eye contact. They actually are up and alert. I saw it firsthand. I've seen
Wow.
firsthand.
How long have you been involved in this?
Well, years and years ago, I threw a party for my birthday, and it was just so good. Everybody wanted to do it again, so we did it again, and then these
Like
are
the whole-
outdoor parties. My
So how
family
many
owns,
birthdays do you have a year?
I have several.
Okay.
My family owns 100 acres up in upstate New York, and weren't doing anything with it. So I said, hey, I'm going to go throw a birthday party with a generator, DJs, and
Bands?
lasers, and no bands, just DJs.
Okay.
Like drum and bass, dubstep, stuff like that. And it just, I started doing, after it was in the woods, so when it started getting cold, I started renting warehouses or doing it in bars and stuff like that. And this is right when Molly got really popular.
Raves.
So, and I was doing raves. So, the DEA agents started coming to my parties and asking where the Molly was. And I didn't want to put anybody in jeopardy, so I shut it down. So after about a year hiatus, I was very depressed because I wasn't doing events. And I decided I wanted to do something to benefit, party for a cause, a protest party, not just party to get fucked up. So I contacted New Jersey Normal, and I said, look, I want to put on a benefit for you guys. I want to raise money for you guys.
And what is New Jersey
New
Normal?
Jersey Normal, what I thought it was an activist organization. What it really is a bunch of lawyers that make money off of you getting called upon. So I'll get into that later. But so anyway, I threw this party for New Jersey Normal. I raised lots of money by having an art auction. And all these people came out of the woodwork and said, don't give any money to them. Give money to the parent organizations. And it's the parents of these sick kids. So that's how I got introduced to them. And then they approached me and said they wanted to do this protest. It was actually Jenny Storms. So I helped her do the protest. I brought the PA system. I helped her navigate the internet and promote and everything. And we did 20 protests last year.
Wow.
And
Good
your
for you.
your venue, your party is every Tuesday evening, right? You do your shows?
That is something completely different.
Oh,
that I
okay.
do.
This is in the same place?
No, this is something.
This is involved into that. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought this about. Because when you said you were.
I also work at a network broadcast studio in New Jersey.
Okay.
And that's something we do every Tuesday. It's like a open mic style talent showcase.
Oh, and so can anyone come and
Anyone can go.
perform?
And if you want to check that out,
So,
it's
yeah.
the BCNN, the Bergen County Neighborhood Network.org.
Now, the other thing you're talking about, how often do you do that? These are benefit
Okay,
parties?
so I did a protest party. I did one protest party, and that's what really got it started. And then I did all these protests, and then I decided to go underground because, well, you meet all kinds of people out there, and some people are not as stable as others. So I decided to...
Do you mean like people that are against what you're...
No, people inside the movement that are not very stable and can sabotage.
Purposely or
not
Not
purposely.
purposely. I get it.
I decided, so me and all the people who I brought with me, who are very underground people who are coming forward to try and help these families, kind of got sent back underground. We got scared. So I've decided, so this year I've taken a different approach, and I've actually been trying to change the law from the court perspective.
What are the laws in Jersey? They do have
They're
medical.
horrible.
I
They
mean,
have,
well, New York has nothing. So, I mean, New York...
well, no, New York set up a medical marijuana program. However, it's still within the 18 months that they had to set it up. So we're like halfway through that. So,
Okay.
but it's really silly. But the New Jersey medical marijuana program is absolutely horrible. They charge the patients $500 an ounce plus tax. And they're like, why are you charging tax on my child's medication?
So they don't have insurance doesn't cover it?
Insurance doesn't cover it, and it's crappy weed.
You know,
Really?
it's funny too, right?
So it's not like California or Colorado?
No, it's
You
crappy
wanna know-
weed, and it's overcharged the people for it, and these people don't have black market connections to get
Right,
good
because
quality
they're
stuff
not-
for an actual
they're
good
not-
price.
That's the
And they don't know
idea.
how to process it. They don't know how to make brownies. Like, their kids can't smoke weed, so they don't know how to make the tinctures and the oils and stuff
And
like
they
that.
don't have those
Well,
funky
I was gonna
stores.
say, you know what? That's what sucks about it. It's really good for you. It comes from a plant, but because it's illegal, because it's black market, because we have to pay so much money, the cheapest, most efficient way is to smoke it. The only thing that's bad for you is smoke inhalation. If it was legal and you could get it like water, we could eat it. We could ingest it other ways. It's the only.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? The only negative health effect is the smoke inhalation, not the pot itself. Any smoke's bad for you. You know, it's just,
Sure.
that
It's
just
the
sucks. That's why-
combustion and also the oxygen
Frustrating.
deprivation.
So where do you want to go with this? Like, what's your dream?
Well, okay. Well, the reason I'm here today is
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about 3 schools of thought when you
Okay.
get caught with weed.
Okay.
The first school of thought is you get a lawyer and you take a plea and they screw you really bad,
Okay.
no matter what. And we've all done that. I've done that so many times,
But is
and
it
I just got sick of
decriminalized
it.
now?
I just play it on Rue when
So-
I get caught.
No, you get caught. You go like you have probation. and,
So,
like, it's
in New
just-
Jersey, you
No,
mean?
New
Okay.
Jersey.
So, you,
So there's 3 schools of
like,
thought.
how
The one
little
is
amount do
actually.
you have to get, or how much? Even like one joint.
Well, what I'm about to talk about, it doesn't really matter how much because I have defenses for people who have been caught.
Okay.
So I want to tell people there is hope after getting arrested for marijuana. So the three schools of thought. The first school of thought is get a lawyer and get screwed. The lawyer is going to want you to take a plea, just like the prosecutor and the judge. They just want you in and out of there because they want your money.
Take your license, all that shit.
So what I decided to do is I filed a challenge motion, and I got this idea from the NJ Weedman. And what it is basically a challenge motion asks the judge to make a ruling that this law is unconstitutional before we even move forward. So what I did, I filed a challenge motion, and the challenge motion states that in 2010, New Jersey signed the Compassionate Care Act. That Compassionate Care Act setting up a medical marijuana program. Now, why they prosecute us based on the 2C laws. The 2C laws are based on the DEA Schedule 1 ruling that says marijuana has no therapeutic or medical value. Yet, in 2010, they signed the Compassionate Care Act recognizing that marijuana has medical and therapeutic value. So, I propose that the laws contradict, and you should dismiss my whole case.
And did it work?
Well, the municipal court, the prosecutor agreed, and the municipal court judge said, this is over my head, got to send it on up to the county. So I filed an appeal, an interlocutory appeal, which means the trial is, I didn't take the plea, the case is still open, and we're going to bring it up. And,
do you like your lawyer?
I'm my lawyer.
I was just going to say, right? Yeah.
Are you a lawyer?
I'm not a lawyer.
So you're just representing yourself.
Pro se, yeah.
And you're very smart, so you read everything and
I
figure it all out.
I just figured it out, and also I dress really silly when I go into court
Like
because because I want people to see, hey, look at that asshole up there. He's fighting this. I can not be scared and not take the plea and actually fight it. So that's the second school of thought, which is challenging the actual laws itself. Then there's a third, and it's actually following the law. Now, in the 1970s Controlled Substance Act, there is a Section 885, which sets up an exemption for people that handle industrial hemp. So I met this guy who is a hemp farmer. He's an industrial hemp farmer. So he hired me as a contractor, as a private contractor, to do research and development on industrial hemp. So I'm able to possess, transport,
like a
handle.
card that says,
I have paperwork.
yeah.
And yeah, so I use that. So I've been qualified.
And they make clothes out of this. And
yeah, it's to make hempcrete clothes, just a million things. You can do research and development, but
Right.
it's for me to do research and development.
And where
to try
are
and
they in
discover
New
more
Jersey
things.
also?
It's federal. So it's and because of the Civil War,
So you can
federal
be
government
anywhere.
trumps state government. So.
Ah.
So basically, all I do is I go into I get caught with weed. I go to the prosecutor and I show him the paperwork, and he dismisses my.
But not everyone can get that paperwork.
No, you got to.
You have to work for
you have
the
to, you have to
hemp
go to www.gameface.com, which is GAMPHACE.com, and sign up, and you can get a federal exemption.
Really? It's
Yeah.
that easy?
You have to pay a fee, and yes.
And what's the fee, if you mind?
Well, it was $100,
Okay.
and then I got off, and then he raised it because it worked. So
So do you think they raised it because of you?
absolutely.
In New Jersey?
Well, yeah.
And where is do you ever report to duty on the hemp farm?
I would like to.
Yo, yeah. I report to
I'd like
duty
to,
on the
but right
poison
now
farm.
I just use it as a shield, as a protection. in
And
going to
that
court.
works.
So what I'm doing is I'm doing the challenge motion and going to court and everything, and the prosecutor does not know that I have this federal exemption. So if I fail with trying to change the law and challenge the law and everything and go up through the higher courts, if I fail,
Wait,
I can still fall back on this federal exemption.
But
and not
it
be
worked,
in
you said. So
Yeah, it worked- it worked.
So
It was
are you
another
in
case.
another case?
trouble. I have
You know,
3 cases going.
They're
Wow.
starting to acknowledge shit like that because I remember years ago I get caught with like a bag of pot. They threw the book at me. Now the last few years I had a serious back injury. I got caught with hard narcotics because I had an injury. There was a certain hardship case which allowed me to keep my license. I just had to pay a fine. One time I got arrested for weed. Town police arrested me, not the state police. This is in Virginia. They were supposed to call the state police, so it wasn't town ordinance violation. They got thrown out of court. There's all these little ways around things. But you know, it's funny because this whole thing that to put someone in jail or to arrest them for smoking a fucking plant is ridiculous, first off. Second off, you know what really pisses me off? The governor of this state, that fucking guy.
What's that you say?
He's so against marijuana, right? He's so against supporting marijuana, right? And he says because he doesn't want to back any of
Well, that's because he doesn't want to get the munchies. Because
well,
It's
listen.
because he's a former district attorney.
He said that he doesn't want to support
afraid.
criminals or criminal behavior or people that represent crime, yet he supports Atlantic City and gambling. Who the fuck do you think?
George
Who the fuck do you think
That's
wants that?
the
The
only thing that's
mafia.
going to save
So he's like a
Atlantic
fucking
City
hypocrite.
from
Because he'll support mafia and gambling, but he won't support marijuana.
Otherwise, it's Camden with casinos.
Yeah.
It's a bullshit excuse.
But there's
and he's
one
a Dallas Cowboys fan.
There's one last thing that I wanted to talk about, and that is a school of thought that I want to propose. That I want to start proposing. So, if you've been caught with cannabis, don't take the plea. Instead,
call Jeff.
Use this as your defense. Tell your lawyer that you want to use this as your defense.
Does this work in any state?
No, this is something that I just thought of.
Or just
This is something that I just thought of, and it's that the smell of cannabis in your car no longer equates probable cause, because there are instances in New Jersey, actually federally, where you can smell cannabis and there's no crime being committed. So that drops it from being probable cause to reasonable suspicion. And reasonable suspicion, the cops do not have enough power to search a car. So if a cop used probable cause for smelling to search a car, that should negate the entire search.
Right, so it's an illegal search.
Correct.
Okay. So the world should be a better place.
I hope so.
And
5 minutes after the show, it's going to be for me because I'm going to be fucking sparking. I can't wait.
oh, Jurgen.
That's all I'm thinking about right now.
Well, there you go. So Jeff, in a perfect world, that you would be able to walk around without hiding your identity, what would you wish it to be?
Perfect world?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a really, really tough question. Perfect world, everything would be made out of hemp.
Yeah. Well, today happens to be National Veggie
We
Day.
can smoke
So if you would like to have some veggies.
I will smoke my veggies.
Oh, okay.
I won't eat them. I don't eat veggies. I smoke them.
Really? You don't eat them at all?
Well, I can't. I have kidney stones. I'm prone to kidney stones, so I can't have most vegetables.
So does weed help the kidney stones?
No.
It doesn't help pass them out?
No, not at
Well,
all.
that's really painful, I heard.
Yes, I've had three surgeries.
So you've
I
had
the earlier,
three
spinal
marijuana charges and 3
I've had
surgeries.
way more than 3 marijuana charges.
Oh.
I've been kicked
Well,
out of
then
school
you-
for marijuana.
Oh, these are
That's my
skeletons
clause.
right
Yeah,
there.
you want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
skeletons? I got when I went to a very prestigious high school in
Where?
New Jersey,
Okay.
Don Bosco Prep,
Okay.
and I was selling weed, and I got
Isn't that what you're supposed to do in a
And,
very exclusive school?
Well, the
Yeah.
thing is, all the jocks had the access to the cannabis, and my friends at Burton Catholic were jocks over there.
Yeah.
So, but I was friends with all the nerds. So I would get my cannabis and sell it to all the nerds because the nerds would not buy from the jocks.
Interesting.
I was thinking
It
of
sounds like a television show. Like
Sure.
Square Pegs or something?
Sure.
You remember that?
If anyone wants to contact me
Yeah.
for a deal,
Yeah. What kind of deal? Like a plea or
a book deal, maybe video.
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Take this all the way. It could be like the final season of Weeds. You just pick up, like have Cyrus pick up where we left off.
You can call it pots.
Pots.
We can make the tunnel from New Jersey to New York. Yeah. And see who climbs through,
The
right?
underground weed railroad.
Yeah.
The underground weed road.
I mean, do you think that the laws are going to change, or do you think they're going to stay
In
the
New
same?
Jersey, fuck no.
You don't. So you don't
because
think federally?
Chris Christie is a piece
So
of
you
shit.
don't think that?
Yeah, and he's a fucking Dallas Cowboys fan,
And
too.
Chris Christie prefers Chris Christie prefers dead
Son of a
kids
bitch.
over stoned adults. That's really what it comes
Okay.
down to.
All right.
He likes to eat small children, that guy.
He
So
probably does.
He's a baby eater.
Wow. So all right. So you don't think when the next
it's a
president,
baby.
when the next president comes, that they're going to just make it legal?
Okay, well, I have a
30
theory.
seconds or less.
I have a theory. My theory is that a product came out of the federal Mississippi farm.
I mean, the lady of the man who did inhale is
it's
probably
going to cause psychosis to people,
Yeah.
and so they're going to legalize, and then they're going to be like, oh, this one product causes psychosis. Look. And they're going to pull everything.
Like
and now,
reefer
and now
madness.
but now they're going to have everybody registered. They're going to know
Yeah,
because everything's going to
exactly.
be
Well,
out
that's
in the
what
open.
it is.
So now they're going to be able to crack down.
But that's the medical marijuana. You need the card.
Well, but the thing is, we don't know what that product is that came out of this federal Mississippi farm. It could be some genetically modified thing that gives you
Probably would be.
psychosis.
Yeah,
like the synthetic
To
weed.
blame-
Gotcha.
yeah.
What's that
I
shit?
gotcha.
That fake
Wonderful.
weed?
Come
What's that fake weed? They
Come
got
back.
now?
We should talk further.
Oh, I have
Let's
a
make
lot
a
of
plan.
things to say.
All
Sure.
right.
Yeah, word up.
The love gun on WhO. Thanks so much for visiting.
Thank you
And
for
I heard
having
you
me.
have a very talented
Marital
other
number
person
one.
that's-
I also manage a very talented girl by the
Yeah.
name of Elle Morgan. You can go to ellmorganmusic.com. She is a rock star. She plays every Friday at the Elle Room at the Beluga Bar.
Perfect.
This is my girlfriend, yes. And
Now she's filming a movie today.
she's actually filming a movie right now, and it's a movie that she wrote a couple songs for. And the director decided to put her, ironically, as the bartender because she's also a bartender.
Okay.
Cool.
And yeah, so
Nice. Well, bring her
Get her on
and
the show.
let's come back soon.
absolutely. Nice to meet you.
Thanks. Sounds great. We have one more guest, and we will be coming back. in
Woo!
1 minute. Yes.
We're coming.